What's up with it, YouTube? This is Gorilla Wayne. I don't have much to talk about today. I'm just sitting here chilling on my day off. A few things that I have in my head that may be interesting. I'm going to talk to you guys about insulin today. Before we talk about insulin, I want to ask you guys what you think about Putin and his ICBMs and Ukraine. You know, Ukraine used to belong to Russia until the last Russian president was ousted in the 90s. Now, why was he ousted? He was ousted and he fled to Russia. And then Europe came in and took over. Sounds familiar, but that's all I'm going to say on that. Uh, all I can say is I hope the United States has perfected their intercontinental ballistic missile like Russia has. Russia seems to steal everything we have. The bombs that hit Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Russian president was standing there watching. I don't know if we thought that we had one over on the Russian president, but we didn't because he already had the technology. He was just here in the United States watching to see how it was going to work. We wasn't impressing him because he had the technology. He was already building it because he had already stolen it from a Russian spy. Russians look just like Americans do, just the accent. They have the hypersonic missile. Guess where they got the hypersonic missile from? The United States. They stole it, but they perfected it. The U.S. was trying to get it perfected, but they couldn't. I wonder why they couldn't. Because they was too busy bullcorning around the world and cutting military funding. Russia got it and perfected it. They got hypersonic missiles, 10 to 15 warhead ICBMs. If we got anything like Russia got, we ain't said nothing about it. But we want to play tit for tat with Russia. Russia has always provided U.S.'s enemies on the battlefield with weapons. They've always done it. Vietnam, Iraq, I'm pretty sure Iraq and some of these other countries, they provide them with weapons to help defeat the U.S. So the U.S. is just returning the favor by doing it to Ukraine. It's kind of like a tit for tat. So the U.S. backed down in Vietnam. They didn't drop any nukes in Vietnam. They just lost the war. But the difference was the U.S. wasn't fighting to gain a country that was theirs previously. They were trying to gain Vietnam, and Vietnam knew it was never theirs, so they never lost anything. Russia lost to Ukraine to propaganda and double talk. I heard somebody say once before, trick knowledge. Putin's hot. He likes to think something's been stolen from him. The U.S. ain't gonna be too hot for losing from Vietnam. They wasn't stole from them. They just couldn't take it. Take Vietnam. Russia feel like he's been stolen from. That's why he don't want to stop. I just hope we got something to knock back Russia's that bad boy Satan he got, and them new IRBM, them new intermediate ICBMs he got, hypersonic. Ukraine say they were able to knock them down. I don't know. They lights out in Kiev. They got no power. Yeah, when the difference when Russia was providing Vietnam and Iraq, Afghanistan weapons, they never hit the U.S. If they had hit the U.S., I wonder would the U.S. had went nuclear. Well, I didn't vote for Trump, but I can't wait till he hits office. Uh, all things is in God's hand, good and evil. Well, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Uh, did you guys know insulin is made from E. coli bacteria? Yes, insulin, synthetic insulin is made from E. coli bacteria is and yeast. That's why you get infections, amputations, yeast infections, amputations. Check this out. The first genetically engineered synthetic human insulin was produced in 1978 using E. coli bacteria to produce insulin. Insulin 1, 2. Oh, I don't. Uh, I think that means something else. We're not going to worry about the 1, 2. I said. Insulin administration had a significant stimulatory effect on E. coli proliferation in vitro for all four tested E. coli bacteria strains. Nowadays, recombinant human insulin is mainly produced either in E. coli or Saccharomyces. I know I didn't say that right. Insulin from cattle and pigs was used for many years to treat diabetes and save millions of lives, but it caused allergic reactions in patients. They still make it. They still make insulin from bacteria. Micro cell fact. This is 2014. They put this out. The rapid increase in the number of diabetics patients globally and exploration of alternate insulin delivery methods such as inhalation or oral route that rely on higher doses is bound to escalate the demand for recombinant insulin in near future. Current manufacturing technologies would be unable to meet the growing demand of affordable insulin due to limitation in production capacity and high production costs. Manufacturing therapeutic recombinant proteins require an appropriate host organism with efficient machinery for post-translational modifications and protein refolding. Recombinant human insulin has been produced predominantly using E. coli and Saccharomyces cerevisiae, whatever that is, for therapeutic use in human. We would focus in this review on various approaches that can be exploited to increase production of biologically active insulin in its analogs in E. coli, and there we go. CSA yeast. Transgenic plants are also very attractive and expressive systems which can be exploited to produce insulin in large quantities for therapeutic use in humans. Plant-based expression system hold tremendous potential for high capacity production of insulin in very cost-effective manner. Very high level of expression of biologically active proinsulin in seeds or leaves with long-term stability offers low-cost technology for injectable as well as oral delivery of pro-insulin. It says plant-based expression systems hold tremendous potential. They're making it from E. coli bacteria. That's right, peoples. E. coli bacteria. Synthetic insulin is made from E. coli bacteria. Here is another one. It says back in 1978, researchers at a biotech company called Genentech found a human gene for insulin and put it into a strain of E. coli bacteria. This produced insulin, and as we mentioned earlier, the first example of engineered human insulin hit the market in 1982 under the name Humulin. Interestingly, the biotechnology is still used for research today, and it creates thousands of insulin varieties that are helping scientists and researchers to find better ways to treat diabetes as well as a variety of other health conditions. The use of synthetic insulin became a popular topic of research after Humulin was such a success. By modifying the insulin gene, scientists have been able to develop new types of insulin. These are called insulin analogs, and they have grown in popularity because scientists are able to put different properties into these analogs by adjusting their amino acids. This means they can force the body to either process them faster or slower, therefore giving millions of people who have diabetes more choices for controlling their blood sugar levels. Modern synthetic insulin is made with bacteria and yeast. Let me read that again. Modern synthetic insulin is made with bacteria and yeast. When the DNA code for producing insulin is placed into bacteria or yeast cells, this creates insulin. It gets purified and then sold as human insulin. Well, when you purify something, there's always something in there left. Here's a drug, synthetic insulin, that's had lawsuits on it because you lose your lower legs. Farxiga lower limb amputation could lead to litigation. This was in 2019. New research indicates that SGLT2 type 2 diabetes drugs, including Farxiga, may increase the risk of lower limb amputations. A lawsuit investigation regarding Farxiga lower limb amputations has already been launched. A recent study published by BMJ in November 2018 appears to show a link between Farxiga and other SGL2 inhibitors and an increased risk of lower limb amputations, including amputations in toes, feet, and legs. I remember when I was a kid, everybody getting their legs amputated and stuff. E. coli bacteria insulin, synthetic insulin, and yeast. According to the results of the BMJ study, patients who were prescribed SGL2 inhibitors like Farxiga were more than twice as likely to require a lower limb amputation than those who took different types of medication. Additionally, these patients were also more than twice as likely to develop diabetic ketoacidosis, a dangerous and potentially life-threatening condition resulting in a buildup of ketone acids in the bloodstream, in addition to increased risk of ketoacidosis and lower limb amputation. According to AstraZeneca Farxiga website, diabetes drug is associated with many other possible side effects aside from risk of amputation. These additional potentially serious side effects include dehydration, kidney problems, or sudden kidney injury, serious UTI infections that may lead to hospitalization. There we go. Yeast infection, sore throat and nasal problems, changes in urine. increase in urgency, and increase in urine output or the need to urinate more often. Low blood sugar, increase in bad cholesterol, bladder cancer. Yeast infections, leg amputations. Look at this. Bacterial infections in and around the genitals, including necrotizing fasciitis or funerary gangrene. Gangrene. That sounds like something associated with E. coli, if you ask me, if you think about it. Put that brain to use. Think about it. We got to think negative here. We got to speculate. We got to speculate on this one. Bacterial infections in and around the genitals, including necrotizing fasciitis or furinary gangrene. These serious infections may lead to hospitalization, surgeries, or death. Symptoms may include feeling weak or tired, as well as pain, swelling, and redness of the skin on and around the genitals. Yeast infection, bad cholesterol, bladder cancer. Well, there's other things you can do before you go to insulin. Talk to your doctor before you do anything. A lot of people don't take vitamins. Vitamin D, most people don't get enough sun. Vitamin D is a very important vitamin and it's important for a diabetic. It helps your pancreas produce insulin. Vitamin D, a good multivitamin. Iodine. Iodine is not provided in any food. It's provided in salt because you get very little in salt. The salt that says this is iodine salt, a necessary nutrient. Uh, if you can't take salt, you can get low dose iodine tablets along with selenium. Iodine doesn't work correct unless you have selenium in your diet too. Iodine, selenium, that's good for your thyroid. Now, thyroid does all kind of stuff. I'm speculating that it's gonna help with diabetes too, because thyroid puts out all kind of hormones. Vitamin D is good for you, helps your pancreas. There's enzymes that help your pancreas that you can study and look up. Uh, Taking these vitamins will definitely help you. Over a week or two, your sugar will start to go down. Now, if you're already on insulin, make sure that when you start taking these vitamins, that you are pricking your fingers regularly. And the number one thing you need to remember, I ain't no freaking doctor. I'm a diabetic. I take metformin and vitamins, which keeps my A1C down under 7. Uh, you start taking these vitamins, your A1C, the sugar probably start going down. You don't want to get your sugar too low. So when you start taking vitamins along with your medicine, make sure you're pricking your fingers to make sure your sugar don't drop too low. And talk to your doctor, tell them you're going to start taking vitamins. It might drop your sugar down if you start taking vitamins along with your insulin or whatever medicine the doctor got you taking. Don't get yourself hurt and pass out. Pass out while you're driving or something like that. Make sure you check your sugar frequently. Uh, Vitamins will definitely help you do anything but get on insulin. Do anything but get on E. coli and yeast. Okay, that's all I got to say on that. Google, check the internet. Vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, iodine, and selenium. Uh, and get you a good multivitamin. You take those vitamins for a couple of weeks, it'll help. You're gonna feel a whole lot better, and your sugar gonna start coming down. Make sure you prick your finger so your sugar don't go low. Because remember, you're already taking medicine to keep your sugar down. And talk to your doctor. And number one, I ain't no freaking doctor. Everybody have a good day out there. I'll holler at y'all later.